Huh? They will not dwell into, yes, you are very meritorious. No, those who are realized, they said, both are equal. How good work is equal, and work is also as good as, uh, what is good. There may be imbalance. In Kali Yuga, more bad work is there, but good work is little found. But what does it matter? It's a disastrous age. It is going to devour everything. Actually, the time factor is such that it will destroy everything. So it is bad work? No. We have to cultivate the eyes to see what is the Lord's status quo. We may change from good to bad, that is allowed, but the Lord is not at all moved by good or bad. So, he says, people estimate this good and this is bad on the basis of ignorance. On the basis of ignorance. They estimate and denigrate another? No. This is not the way to look at the things. So, if they are ignorant, then today's verse is telling, Jnanena tu tadat jnanam yesham nashinam atmanah tesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tatparam. Jnanena, by knowledge, tu, but, tat, that, ajnanam, niscience, yesham, whose, nashitam is destroyed, atmana of the living entity, tesham there, adityavat, like the rising sun, jnanam, knowledge, prakashayati, discloses, tatparam, Krishna consciousness. Tatparam, beyond ignorance, if somebody is fortunate enough to understand the reality, then their knowledgeability will shine like rising sun. It is more than simply information. Realized knowledge is more than information. So, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. Those who have forgotten Krishna must certainly be bewildered. But those who are in Krishna consciousness are not bewildered at all. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvam Jnana Plavena Jnanagni Sarva Karmani Na, and another one is Nahi Jnanena Sadrasham Pavitram Iha Ityate. The knowledge of Krishna's consciousness. That how does Krishna see, perceive, which is transcendental. That knowledge we should acquire. So there are several slokas, three verses have been cited that Sarva Jnana Plavenam Vrijinam Santarishyasi, then another Jnanina Sarva Karma, Jnanagni Sarva Karmani, Jnanagni Dagdha Karmani. The fire of this knowledge can burn our karma to ashes. It will not generate reaction. जैसे वो चने जैसे भूंज देते हैं बाद में वो तो क्या उगेंगे? No. Roasted grains can never generate. So Jnanagni Dagdha Karmanam, the karmas will be burnt, roasted in such a way that they will not fructify into a reaction. So that is what is wanted. Nahi jnanena sadrasam pavitram iha vidyate. Therefore, that respective jnana of Krishna consciousness is so pure that nothing more is to be achieved. Knowledge is always highly esteemed. And what is that knowledge? Perfect knowledge is achieved when one surrenders unto Krishna, as it is said in the 7th chapter, 19th verse, that bahunam janmanam ante jnanavam mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So, how many births a jnani has to take in human form to continue his jnana, to revive his jnana again and again and again and again, every new birth. And out of so many human births, in that knowledgeable position, when he finally comes to the conclusion that Vasudevam Sarvamiti, simply this much, that all is Vasudeva. Presence of Vasudevam is Sarvam iti. Is omnipresent because Sarvatra Vasati iti Vasudeva. The Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavam Mam Prapadyate Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sam Mahatma Sudurlabha. That is called Mahatma. And he rests upon Mahatma Anastum Mam Partha Daivim Prakriti Masrita Bhajantim Ananya Manaso Gyatva Bhutadim Avyayam. They are always resting on this divine knowledge, realization, and full faith on the lotus feet of the Lord that He will protect me, He will nourish me. Therefore, I will conduct all the activities which are favorable to Him and shun off all the one that are not approved by Him. He doesn't like it. So I won't do. This is called Sharanagati. If somebody said, I am surrendered to Krishna, then sure. There are 6 symptoms. If one is totally dependent upon only one and one central figure, then he has nothing, right, of his own. Therefore, dainyam should be the first symptom. He should become so humble. Tranadapi sunichena. He should be ready. Tarorapi sahishnu. Amanina manadena. Kirtaniya sadahare. He should become totally prideless. He should not anticipate any honor for him, but he should be ready to give honor to everybody. So this is dainyam. That is the first, requisite. Then, other 4 that I described, they are there. So this is extremely important. One cannot simply bluff by his limited knowledge to impress upon others. So, after passing through many, many births, when one perfect in knowledge surrenders unto Krishna, or when one attains Krishna consciousness, then everything is revealed to him, as everything is revealed by the sun in the daytime. The living entity is bewildered in so many ways. For instance, when he unceremoniously thinks himself of God, he actually falls into the last snare of existence. If a living entity is God, then how come he become bewildered by niscience? Does God become bewildered by niscience? If so, then niscience or Satan is greater than God. Real knowledge can be obtained from a person who is in perfect Krishna consciousness. Therefore, one has to seek out such a bona fide spiritual master and under him learn what Krishna consciousness is, for Krishna consciousness will certainly drive away all niscience, as the sun drives away darkness. Even though a person may be in full knowledge that he is not this body, but he is transcendental to the body, he may still not be able to discriminate between the soul and the supersoul. However, he can know everything well if he cares to take shelter of the perfect bona fide Krishna conscious spiritual master. One can know God and one's relationship with God only when one actually meets a representative of God. A representative of God never claims that he is God, although he is paid all the respects ordinarily paid to God, because he has knowledge of God. One has to learn the distinction between God and the living entity. Lord Sri Krishna therefore states in the second chapter, 12th verse, that every living being is individual and that the Lord is also individual. They were all individuals in the past, they are individuals at present, and they will continue to be individuals in future, even after liberation. Natvivaham jatunasham natvam neme janadipa na chaiva pavishyamah sarve vayam atah param. Atah param means this is the supreme eternal destination called Krishna consciousness we were born into. We can't forget. Right? At night we see everything as one in the darkness, but in the daytime, when the sun is up, we see everything in the real identity. Identity with individuality in spiritual life is the real knowledge. As I said the other day, our identity, the nomenclature, is in connection with Krishna. Or to the personalities who have participated in cooperation with Krishna. यहाँ किसी का नाम रखा है रावण, किसी का नाम दुर्योधन रखते हैं, शकुनी भी रखते हैं किसी का नाम, कुछ नहीं. We don't keep such names. They are not related to Krishna. कन्हैया कहाँ गया? ओ इधर आया. हरि बोल कन्हैया. हरि बोल करो. कन्हैया दास. We keep. The name is eternal. Why should we keep the name of a body which is Krishna is not considering to be very important? You can keep the body in relationship with the father and mother who has given, but they themselves are spirit soul connected with Krishna. So why not? Therefore, we have to cultivate this knowledge of our relationship with Krishna. This is eternal. If we have knowledge, then we must apply in our life, which makes us realized. Why do we have to practice Krishna consciousness? For realization. It's not for fake imagination. It's for realization. To make everything real about us, not fake. That is the duty of every human being. He can't develop different definitions of real. To me, real is this. Can you make any definition for happiness? Yeah, you may. They sell. Happiness is Pepsi Cola. Jato mat tato pat. That is Mayavad. Not intelligent. When Srila Prabhupada was preaching in USA, then at that time there was this cigarette called Cool. Prabhupada said, that foolish man smoking fire, and he says Cool. He is smoking fire and he thinks he's cool. A very practical example, Cool means happy, to keep you happy. Everything, even e-cigarettes are coming today under the banned situation. They want to eradicate that. People are on destructive path. In Kali Yuga, all that is going to destroy you will become an object of sense gratification. So, we need to understand that this ignorance has to be removed, and only Krishna consciousness will be successful to eradicate the ignorance from the root for once and all. Any other branching out of the ignorance which has generated from our misunderstanding, that will be also eradicated. Because to situate ourselves in Krishna consciousness, either by karma, either by jnana or by yoga, is the highest state of realizing the absolute truth. So we have to work on that. Kali Yuga, when everybody is lazy and idiotic nature, they have no learning aptitude because they are lazy. They don't have good intelligence even. So how is it that they will be able to develop the impersonal knowledge, the jnana, and then realize it? It is impossible. It's very difficult. Even 5,000 years back, in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is being questioned by Arjuna. Those who worship you with Jnana Yajna or Jnana Yoga, and those who worship you in your form, absolute, who is better? Arjuna wanted an easy answer. Krishna says, of course, the one who worshipped me in my original form is better. I'm not a formless person. But you have to understand, I don't have material form. I have transcendental form. But you will have to use the matter as my representative because it is produced from me. Therefore, I am present in each and every atom as Paramatma. So up to that level you will be able to realize in the deity worship. But it is very important. But then, such knowledge has been given in the Vedas, right? But to obtain me in person, you can't jump up from that. You have to cultivate bhakti. Huh? If one is an impersonalist means he has developed the knowledge of Krishna's attributes as if they are the traits of imperson or potencies only, which we will not be able to realize. But it is there. But it does not have form and qualities. Huh? Rupa and guna are absent. Rupa and guna are absent. Krishna is formless, he says. This impersonalist. He doesn't have qualities. They understand the qualities what we perceive here through all the elemental traits, the salient features of all different elements, how they are so distinct from each other. Krishna created 24 elements in the beginning, but then our scientists are producing about how many now? 100 and something are elements analyzed. Scientists are evolving. How many elements are there in the chart of chemistry?
I don't know my number.
Must have been crossed over 100 at least.
Yeah.
Periodic table.
Periodic table?
Yeah.
Should be a little more than that.
More than
A little more than that.
when I did it was 108. Now it's probably more.
That's correct.
Is it 108?
Every time it happens.
It's nice that this is Krishna's song.
कृष्णा पोता
आज बोलता नहीं हूँ तो कोई कमेंट मिल जाएगी. So, but they are coming from the same earth. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego, they comprise this material energy which composes our body. But when you say earth, all earthly elements are there. In the air they have analyzed, and there are rare gases, elemental state, they are there. Right? But similarly, they are in ether, but they cannot find ethereal elements. 24 tanmatras, elements and the even the senses are coming, and Krishna has created this. Right? So, the knowledge of the inert matter in any state, they say that we know that, but some of are in ground state, another are on the very active, elevated state that emanates rays. Yeah, what they call rare earth elements. But we are not composed, or we are not concerned with this. 24 elements means these are functional elements that compose our body. They compose the whole creation in different degrees. The constitution will be there. But we are not concerned with the external manifestation of these bodies. It is still an instrument to achieve something. If we use our body in right connotations, right context of the maker of the body, then it will be a yoga. Right? So creation and creator, they will be always connected, but we try to disconnect all the time. And therefore, disconnection creates an ignorance. Disconnection does not create knowledgeability. How do you measure your IQ? How do you measure your IQ? Young boys and girls.
I've never measured it.
Huh?
I've never measured it.
You never measured it.
Like based on what you, like your percentage or whatever?
No, but
The actual test?
the Mensa test and other, they have a device to measure your IQ. All right? What kind of questions do they ask?
Analytical.
Huh?
Analytical questions.
No. Trivial common sense questions. All right? So it is meant for common sense of worldly information. It is nothing but question about some information that do you know or not. So why do you call it intelligence quotient, not information quotient? And the quality of the information is about the material creation and sub-creation and tertiary and research in this and that. But it's material field. The matter was dark. It doesn't give intelligence. So it is only an information quotient. But at the same time, because it is not giving intelligence, it is only giving ignorance. So IQ means ignorant quotient, not intelligent quotient. Do you have any objection? You understand? IQ is simply information about ignorance. Why they are putting intelligence? Right? And those jnanis, those who are realized souls and those who are impersonalist and those who do not believe in Krishna but some unseen Gebi Shakti, they can't have no penetration in that world. That is there hanging somewhere. What do we have to do with it? So, ignorance question is not our IQ. So people thought the same neuropsychologists and others that they thought that we should have the more sensitive issues that is coming up in front of our experiences, that is sentiments. A human being is more sentimental than other animals. Therefore, sentiments should, or emotions, should be a very important factor in our intelligence. Emotions. But we see other animals also have emotions for their family. So how emotions are different? So many emotions are you will see they are much more better than in human being. So emotions do not give you a clear picture to increase your IQ. But the measurement on spiritual quotient is a unique measurement that is making you really intelligent. if you know spiritually, eternally your connection. So SQ is more important. If you add SQ, your IQ will be worth it. Otherwise not. You understand? The importance of SQ. Because only human being is a spiritual being, others are not. They will have no access to think introvertly about themselves, and they won't find out even psychologically or parapsychologically about their identity. So, as a matter of fact, we are connected with all intelligent personality of Godhead who has created and mastermind the affairs. That His order is never defied by anyone. The planetary system, they move in their own orbits. They don't violate it. But this human being wants to violate everything. Why? Because he was made in image of God, and because he is a representative of enviousness to God. We are envious, so we challenge him. Even though we could not prove our tangible challenges, no rationalism has ever succeeded. So, what to speak of those who have impersonal realization and denying the spiritual configuration of Lord Krishna? The devotees start knowing Krishna in his spiritual configuration. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Kara. They are simple-hearted, poetic. They are so pleasing to understand, that the configuration of Lord Krishna's embodiment is made up of Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. This Vigraha is so much adept to reciprocate our sentient feelings. Vigraha is one of the name of the body. Body has about 13 or 14 names in Ayurveda. It's called Sharir, it's called Deha, it's called Tanu, it's called Varshma. So many names, but it is pertaining to all different functions of the body that it can, derive. If the body is capable to produce a similar body, that is called Tanu.